So I'll again just run the program and you all will be able to see clearly WhatsApp myself. I have just scanned the QR code. WhatsApp is opened. Now
send message or spam.
Spam. See here, can you all see here how the message is being sent? So this is the WhatsApp spam bot. Again, just run it. WhatsApp myself.
Send message or spam.
Send message.
What should the message be?
You can have whatever message you want to until you are completely clear. See, I was perfectly clear right here. So you can have whatever message you want to until you are completely clear. And this message is actually sent, okay? So you can try it out with anybody you want to. Oh, hey there. Hey guys, what's up? My name is Brian Thomas and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today's video we'll be learning how to actually build a WhatsApp spam bot or a WhatsApp bot you can say. You could send a message through this WhatsApp bot or you can spam any person who you want to with this WhatsApp bot. Now, this WhatsApp bot, what makes it so special is that we are actually going to be controlling it with our voice. We don't even need to use the keyboard or mouse or anything. We just need to start a program and after that it's all within the control of our voice. So whatever we say, the program will execute as is. So without wasting time, let's get started. So first of all, open your IDE. Well, mine is PyCharm. I like it a lot. So I'll stick with it. So I'll open my IDE, PyCharm. After you open your IDE, so what you need to do is that you need to create a new project in your Python IDE where you all are creating your Python file and you all are creating the new virtual environment. Keep both the file locations the same. That's what I would suggest because it will help you keep the file much cleaner and easier to run every time you open it. It won't clash with the other files which you have many imports with or libraries that you've downloaded. So then here we have our file location. This is my file location. Always create a new virtual environment for every single program that you're making. Now, for every single program that you're making is whenever you're importing various libraries. If you're not going to be using libraries or you're going to use programs that are very basic, then you can stick to stick to the base interpreter itself. That won't be a problem. So I'll just create project. So yeah. So what happens is this is basically that opens up. Just close all this. In this file right here that you see, Python project, library root, right click there, hover on new, you will get Python file, click on that, name whatever file you want to name it to. So I'll just type your WhatsApp bot. So right here. So I've got my WhatsApp bot ready right here. Now what you need to do is just click on this project, that'll close. Yeah. So now this is clean. Okay, great. So now we have our file ready, Python file where we can write our code. So now I won't be writing the whole code, it'll take a lot of time. I already have the code ready. I'll just copy paste it right here. I'll tell you all step by step that what we are doing here. So these are all the libraries that we are going to be using for our Python project right now, the WhatsApp bot. So I'll tell you what is what. Now Selenium here, that the Python library that we're using, that is basically for doing web scraping. Now what is this web scraping? Web scraping is basically you are going to a website extracting information from it, or sending information to it. Selenium helps you extract information as well as send information. There is one more library about web scraping, and I'll tell you that in another project that I have made, and that's also very interesting. Then we have import time. This will give you the latest date and time. Then from Selenium, import WebDriver. WebDriver is very important. I'll tell you why we need this as well. So from Selenium, import WebDriver. From Selenium, WebDriver, Chrome options, import options. This is also very important. Import web browser. This is another web scraping library. Speech recognition as SR. Now we are going to control it using a voice, right? So we are going to be using the speech recognition library. Now basically this is for we are going to be talking, and that will synthesize a speech into text. And this library is provided to us, and this library uses the Google text to speech. It uses the Google's facility to convert speech into text. And since you have written as SR, this as SR stands for, it's called an alias. So we don't need to write wherever we are going to be using speech recognition. We will not need to write speech recognition the whole word. All we need to write is two letters, that is SR. That's why you that's why we are using as SR. Then import play sound. This will play back our audio. PyTTSX3. PyTTSX3 stands for Python text to speech version 3. Then import PyAudio. PyAudio also we are going to be using to PyAudio also we are going to be using for playing back the audio. Then again here we have from GTTS, import GTTS. This means that Google text to speech. That's what GTTS stands for. Then import web browser. Okay, it's been two times. No need of this. So from GTTS, import GTTS. Now GTTS basically stands for Google text to speech. Okay. From GTTS, import GTTS. So GTTS basically stands for Google text to speech. So now all this is done. No, we have just imported or written the code. We need to actually get all these libraries in our Python file. So for that, what you need to do, go all the way down bottom right. You will see your Python 3.9 in the bracket Python project, right? Just take your mouse over there and click on that. Then you'll get interpreter settings. Click on that. And the first time it'll give an error that no interpreter or something. That's fine. Just click cancel. Again do the same thing. Click on Python interpreter settings. Here you will see a Python interpreter right here. Here you will see a plus sign. This is for installing different packages. So here I'll just type Selenium. Yeah. So I've got Selenium right here. I'll go to install package. Click here. There you go. Our package is being installed right now. Cool. So our package has been installed. That means just Selenium has been installed. We need to install various others as well. We have web browser. So we have this package right here for speech recognition. Click on install package, and here the package is being installed. Then we have other packages like play sound. We have pyttsx3 as well. Click on pyttsx3, install package. That will be installed. Then we'll go to play sound. Click on install package. This package is also being installed. After that, we'll go to GTTS. There you go. We have GTTS right here. That is also being installed. Okay. So now one important library that is left to install, that is still left to install, is called PyAudio. Now this, peculiar library has got a very different type of installation. I'll tell you how it is installed. You actually need to download a specific file for this install, for this, particular library. I'll have the link for the file in my description below, so check it out there. So this is the file, PyOT that I was talking about. Yeah. So after you get download this file from the link in the description below, what do you need to do? You need to actually paste this file in the same folder where you have your Python file. After pasting it there, I'll tell you how to install it. What you need to do, you need to open your Python, the IDE. Hover, don't click, just hover over the bottom right of your Python 3.9 where it is written, like I'm hovering right now. Here you will see the current interpreter whole file path. So mine is an F, Brian YouTube, Python project, scripts, in that python.exe. Okay. So what I need to do, I need to actually open my command prompt, Windows command prompt. After opening that, I need to go all the way into this file path. What is this file path? Brian YouTube, Python project. So I've come into the file path of my current interpreter. After coming here, what do I need to do? I need to actually install this package that I've downloaded. For me, what I need to do is I need to actually type pip 3 install py. Okay, we made a small mistake. I actually pasted this file in the folder itself where I have my, Python file, but I don't need to, it's not correct to paste it here. I need to paste it in the interpreter folder. And what is my interpreter folder? Brian YouTube Python project, in that scripts. So I'll put this in the scripts folder. After putting it there, now it should work. Pip3 install. I'll type py audio. After I type py audio, just hit tab. The whole name of the file will come and hit enter. See, installing collected packages PyAudio, successfully installed PyAudio, and I have installed PyAudio right here. So that's fine. So next what I need to do, I'll just, run this WhatsApp to see if there are any errors. See, there are no errors. That means every single package or library that I have right here has been installed, right? Yeah. So I'll just copy the remaining code. Okay, so I have inserted the remaining code. Not of the whole program, we'll go step by step. Okay. Now we have engine is equal to pyttsx3 dot init sappy5. So here I'm setting the engine to the, this is actually the code for recording a voice and converting it into text. Okay. This particular code that I'm talking about right here, this particular code that I have right here, this is for, the, this that you can see right here, this particular code I have right here. This is basically for the talking back, how the assistant or whoever the bot that we have right here will talk back to us. Okay, that's basically this for. Now here if you see voice is equal to engine dot get property voices, I just added a line here that print an empty, empty line, then print voices. In the voices string, print the first, part. There is 0 and there is 1. 0 is the female and 1 is the male one. Okay, I think I'm wrong. I think 0 is the male and 1 is the female. Not a problem, that's fine. Then engine dot set property voice, comma, voices, 1 ID. New voice rate 165. So here what this basically does is that new voice rate stands for how fast the bot is going to be speaking, or the audio output we'll be getting. So when it'll respond to us, how fast it'll respond. You can tamper around with this value and see whatever suits you best. That's not a problem. Then engine set property rate, new voice rate. Okay, cool. Then we'll come here. we have a function called speak, in that we are passing a parameter called audio, then engine dot say audio, engine run and wait. This is basically just to speak. So we just need to type speak. We'll give a pass a string to it. That string will come to this function. It'll come through audio. Then it'll say that specific string. That's how we'll get the audio output. Now this definition that we have, or the function that we're creating right here, get audio, this is for when we will speak for it to understand, listen first and then understand or synthesize into text that what we have spoken. So we have again import speech recognition as SR. This is not required, but I've done it already. That's not a problem. Then we are setting an object called our object is equal to sr.recognizer. Audio is an empty string. Then we are writing the different code right here. It's already there. I haven't written this or something. So with speech recognition dot microphone as source, print listening. This is just for us to understand that when the microphone is getting activated, so it will print listening. It will listen. How? Because you have set a microphone right here. So here a microphone will get activated. So our object dot listen, source is a microphone, and this is a very important line. Phrase time limit is equal to 5. That means our microphone will be activated for 5 seconds. This specific line is what I had not gotten actually when I was coding all this. It took me a month to crack out this line. So it's very important, do not miss it. So here you can tamper around with this value. It's also you can keep it, you can keep it 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, how much ever time you want to. Those many seconds, the microphone will be activated and it will listen to those many seconds. And it will store whatever we say in in a variable called audio. Now we are doing a try and accept. Then we are setting text is equal to our object would recognize Google audio. Language is equal to English US. Here it's actually synthesizing our speech into text through the Google API. Then it will say print. You said whatever we said, it will print that. Now what we have done right here is string dot string, converting the text into a string and typing all that or giving the output that of all that in lowercase. There's one more way that you can write it. It goes like print. This is the other way that you can write. So here what we are doing is that what I have done, print, you said same thing, string dot capitalize text. So what it will do, whatever we say, the first letter of that word or each word will be capitalized. You can do that as well, or you can leave it, completely a lowercase, the whole thing, whatever you say. It's all up to you. I would like to leave it in lowercase. It's your wish. Whatever you like, you can do it that way. Then return text dot lower. Now please listen, this is a very important line. Keep it always text dot lower. Do not change it. Otherwise it's going to create a problem. Then we have except. If except, that means if the audio input is empty, it is not understanding what you said, it didn't hear what you said, you didn't say anything. Different test cases are possible, right? So what it will do is that it will say, could not understand you, Brian, please try again. Let's try the small part and see. So here we are going to be testing both the functions right here, that is a speak function where the bot will be speaking to us, as well as where we will be speaking and the bot will tell us what we have spoken. Okay, cool. So let's just run this.
Start speaking.
Okay, so I don't know if you all heard this, but I'll just type it as well, otherwise you all may not understand. What the hell, man? Come on. Okay, so I'll start the program now. As soon as the program runs, it'll say start speaking, and the mic will get activated. It will start listening to us, and we can say, and after, as soon as we start speaking, it will type whatever we say. Okay.
Start speaking.
So as you all heard, the moment I run the program, it said start speaking, and now it will type whatever I said. You need to be very clear when you talk, otherwise this is what exactly happens. So the moment I run the program itself, the moment I run the program, it started speaking. I think that's what I meant to say.
Start speaking.
Hello, hello, hello. Am I clear? See, this is pretty clear, as you all can see, right? Cool. So this is working, not an issue. Now I'll start getting the real code. Okay. So here I have the code. So I'll tell you all how it actually works is that here we are basically just doing a while loop. I is equal to 0 while I is less than 100. I is equal to I plus 1. We are setting a variable called here to get audio so that it will listen to our output. Now, if here equal to 0 continue, so then what will happen is that I'm setting another variable called g, which will be converting the here output. That means that a speech which has been synthesized into text into a string format. Okay, it will be converting into a string format, and again making that lower. Okay, so now what will happen is that if I'm passing a condition that if WhatsApp is present in G, that means if I'm saying the word WhatsApp, only then will this thing get activated. Okay, I can just say WhatsApp, and whosever name I want to say, I can change it that way. Okay, so the moment I do that, it will work completely fine. So I'll say if WhatsApp is there in here, then what will happen? I'm setting another variable q is equal to g dot replace WhatsApp with an empty blank space. Now I'm doing that, I'll tell you. Okay, here I'm replacing, if I'm saying WhatsApp myself, just imagine, because that's what I'm going to be saying. If I say WhatsApp myself, it will remove the word WhatsApp. After it listens, it checks this condition. Okay, WhatsApp is there here. It says okay, fine. Then it will come to this line. It will replace the word WhatsApp with a blank space. So only myself will be there in the string. Okay, this is exactly what I'm doing right here. So in Q, only the word myself will be there. Then I am passing another variable Q3, which will be equal to string.q. So what happens is that I am storing the name of the person that I want to text in Q3. Here I am checking that if myself is present in G, then Chrome browser is equal to webdriver.chrome, executable path, all this. I'll tell you what this is. So I'm setting a variable Chrome browser is equal to, here I'm calling the webdriver.chrome because I'm using the Chrome browser right here. And then I'm giving a parameter called executable path is equal to, now in this I'm passing the file path of where I have the Chrome driver available. Now what exactly the Chrome driver is all about? It is because of the Chrome driver we are able to pass our variables to the website that we want to extract information from, especially a website like WhatsApp. Okay, and here we have set options is equal to options. So I'll tell you. What you need to do, you need to just open your Chrome, and you can just type WebDriver download or something. Chrome WebDriver download. Okay, just come to this link, chromedriver.chromium.org. It'll come here. Once you come here, see, you need to actually check what exactly is your Chrome version, which version you have. Okay, depending on that, you need to download the specific Chrome driver. What happens is that Chrome regularly keeps on updating. Now, when the Chrome browser updates, the WebDriver also needs to update in your program. So if the Chrome web browser is updating and your WebDriver is the same old one, this program will give you issues. It's not going to work. So that also you need to do. You need to actually keep on checking that which version is the Chrome web browser, and accordingly download the latest version of the Chrome WebDriver as well. Mine is the 96.0.466.4.45. So I just click on that here, Chrome driver.win32.zip. Win64 is not there, that's why I'm going for Win32. Just click on that. Here you can just download it. See here, I've already downloaded it. That's not a problem. So here just paste the Chrome driver in the same folder where you have the Python file. Okay, so that will keep your code clean. So here I have the this as well. You can just paste it there. You can change the executable path as well right here. I'll just keep it the same. I have in the web drivers at multiple places. This one works fine, so I'll leave it as is. Options is equal to options, then Chrome browser.get. Here in this you will pass the website you want to go to visit. You can pass any website here, but I am passing WhatsApp web because I'm going to be using that, right? So just type Chrome browser.get whatsappweb.com. Now what I'm doing is time.sleep. Now why I'm doing that is when this website is loading, it takes a lot of time for the website to load. So I'm giving it time, okay, website to load peacefully. After you load, I will start crawling through your website and passing whatever I want to and extract whatever I want to. Okay. So only once the website is completely loaded, I can, do the following actions. If it doesn't load, then it's going to create a problem for me. So then once the website loads completely, then what will happen is I'm passing a variable called username2 is equal to Braun. Now this is my own number. I've created a WhatsApp group which only I am present in, so I can do all this spamming and testing stuff on that. So I passed a variable called username2, set it to this. Now let me tell you that in this specific line, whatever name you're passing here, let it be the exact name that you have saved as the name of the person you want to text. Now if I want to text someone named Atharva, I'll just type your Atharva, the exact name that you can see on WhatsApp. So if you see on WhatsApp Atharva XYZ with a space or with a bracket or whatever, type the exact same thing, the name with the space with the bracket or whatever, right here. Okay, once you type there, then I'm passing in the variable called user2. In that, Chrome browser dot find element by xpath. Just copy all these lines. Okay, you don't need to type, sorry, you don't need to find where, what, and all that. This is already made. It's all going to be the same for everybody, so don't worry. If your Chrome versions are different, it could create a little problem. Otherwise, 99% I don't think it should create a problem, but still. So what you need to do is find element by XPath. Here you have this thing. Now what doing is that in this specific thing, title is equal to, here I'll be passing this name, whatever I want, right? So here dot format username to. So as soon as WhatsApp opens, you'll see a list of names on the right, correct? So as soon as you see the list of names on the right, it will check all the names, okay, which is the name that you have specified is matching to. As soon as it finds the name it is matching to, it will click on that name. That is as written here, user dot click. See if you can see here, I've written user dot click right here. Once the user name is clicked, whichever I want to send the message as spam, it'll ask me a message. that do you want to send message or do you want to spam that person. As soon as it speaks this, the mic will get activated because here I'm calling the get audio function. Once it gets activated, if I say send message or if I say spam, it depends on that. The if condition will do the following output. So if I say spam, so if ask is equal to spam, I'm again setting a while loop. So I'm again setting a while loop right here, that's 25 times. Now here I'm doing is d, setting a variable d, which is equal to string hello. Now for spam, this is exactly what you need to do. There's nothing you need to do here. Just type whatever you want to type and it will do the following work. Okay, so whatever you type here will be typed for that specific person, whoever you want to send the message to. Now this is only for spam. Send message, I'll tell you how it's done. So this is for spam. Okay, so you can type your hello, you can type xyz, you can type whatever you want to, not a problem. Okay, now here I've set the loop 25 times. That means 25 times this word hello will be typed. You can set it to 50 times, 200, 500 times as well, not a problem. The loop will continuously keep on executing. Then here I have written message box is equal to chrome browser dot find element by xpath. This is the whole, from the WebDriver, you need to actually inspect the page. After inspecting, you need to go to the specific part where you have the, chat box down there. Right click on that, click inspect. Again, right click on that and click inspect. Then you will see something on the right hand side that will open. Right click on that specific highlighted, code and go down to copy, or drop down box will appear. Go to copy XPath and paste the XPath. So this thing that you can see right here is just that what I've pasted. It's called XPath. Okay. Then what I'm doing next is that message box dot send keys D. Okay. Send keys. So whatever whatever is written here, it will send that. That means it will type it to the web, but after typing it has to send as well, right? You need to click the send button or the hit the enter button. So for that, what you need to do is that message box is equal to chrome browser dot find element by xpath. Now as soon as you type a message, towards the bottom right of the WhatsApp chat box, you will see the voice option that comes there turns into a send option. That means a triangle. So this is the XPath of that specific triangle. Okay. So that this message box will click. And once this whole code is executed, that means 25 times it is executed, what will happen? The whole loop will break. Okay. That's what this code stands for. So let's just do a small trial now. See how things work. Close all these things. Okay. Don't keep anything open. I'll tell you one more important thing, that if you have, run this program, it works fine. It doesn't work. Okay. Now, if WhatsApp is open on your Chrome browser and the opened WhatsApp, you need to close it. Okay. If it is left open, then if you try to run the program when the WhatsApp is left open, it will not run. One thing I would suggest is that you need to scan the QR code, right? So problem here is that you need to scan the QR code every single time you run this program. I will rectify the problem pretty soon, so don't worry about that. So just keep your scan code ready on your phone. So as soon as you run the program, the website will open and you need to scan the QR code. We'll try something better. Hello is pretty boring. So you can just type, hey, I'm Brian and this is my spam bot. Now, if you all know how to, make the message you're sending into a bold, you will know that you need to actually type star in the start of the message and at the end of the message without a space. So I can just, give that right here, star, hey, I'm Brian and this is my spam bot. Okay. So I'll again just run the program and you all will be able to see clearly. WhatsApp myself. I have just scanned the QR code. WhatsApp is opened. Now it will actually
Send message
search
or spam.
spam. See, can you all see here how the message is being sent? So this is the WhatsApp spam bot. Okay. So yeah. So as soon as the WhatsApp opens, it will actually search all the names right here. I've blurred because it's my personal number. It'll actually search for all the names right here, and it will check that which is the name that you have specified. So I specified the name Braun. That's what I'm getting right here. And here it will click as soon as it gets the name Braun, it will click here. The chat opens. Once this chat opens, it will ask me that do you want to send message or do you want to spam? So I'll say I want to spam. Then it will click here in the type message section. And once it clicks here, it will send the keys that I have specified right here. That hey, I'm Brian and this is my spam bot. So it will type all the message right here. And once it types the message, it will keep on. It will type the one sentence and hit send. See, as soon as I type a letter right here, see this microphone option, what happens to it? Okay, as soon as I type a letter right here, it turns into a send button. So if I type your hey, I'm Brian and this is my spam bot, it will turn into a send option. It will type that sentence, it will click on send. Type that sentence, click on send. So you can do that. You can do this how many times you want to do. As I said, you can do it 500 times as well. That's not a problem at all. So you close this. Now I showed you how to spam, but if you want to send a message, how do you do that? So I have the condition right here that elif ask is equal to send message, collect message, and send message. These are two functions that I've created. I'll paste that here as well. So what happens right here is that it actually will ask you that what message do you want to send, and you will say okay, I want to send this message. It will collect the message. So it will collect the message. Once it collects the message, what will it do? It will send the message. So this is collect message function. Here I have the send message function. So I'll tell you how it actually works is that. So as you all saw right here, if I say send message, it will call the collect message function and then it will go to the send message function. Okay. Yeah. So in the collect message function, I've just added a print an empty line that right here, not a problem. Then I'll say q1 is equal to q dot replace q3 with an empty string. Wait, what? Okay, maybe I was trying something. This is not important. So it'll print an empty line right here. Then it'll ask that it'll print what message, what should the message be, and it'll also ask that what should the message be. Then the mic will get activated. You will say, okay, the message is A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z, whatever you want to say. It will collect the message, convert it into a string. Once it converts into a string, again, just copy this whole code of mine right here. Don't need to break your head that how I got it and all that. Okay, this is the correct one. I just updated it today when I'm recording the video because it had already got outdated. So same thing, it will collect the message, find this, text part, and it will type in, that means send keys, whatever we said, into the text part. Okay, then we'll come to the send message function, nothing. Again, it will find the, send button part, and it will click on that as soon as you tell, or as soon as it types the message. Okay, so I'll show you how that is also done as well. WhatsApp,
Could not understand you, Brian. Please try again.
WhatsApp myself.
Send message or spam.
Send message.
What should the message be?
Hey Brian, how are you? I'm doing good. So as you can see here, it's come Ibrahim, how are you? I'm doing good. So I was not clear to say, hey Brian, how are you? So we can do a small, once more try. So as I told you all before, whenever you all are trying to run the program once more, always close the WhatsApp app which is already open. Otherwise it's going to clash and not work. Okay. So I'll close this again, just run it. WhatsApp myself.
Send message or spam?
Send message.
What should the message be?
You can have whatever message you want to until you are completely clear. See, I was perfectly clear right here. So you can have whatever message you want to until you are completely clear. And this message is actually sent, okay? So you can try it out with anybody you want to. All you need to do is have their, correct name put in here. If you have the correct name, you're done. So you just need to have the correct name and you're going to get their name. You can send the message. You want to spam them, you can spam. You want to actually, send a proper message. You can do that as well. So, yep. So we have executed this program as well pretty well. Thank you all for watching, and it's my humble request, please do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Okay, and one important thing is, please comment down below that how many of y'all are facing the issue of scanning the QR code every single time you need to run the program. Okay, if many of y'all are facing the same issue, then I'll try to rectify it as soon as possible. I think I may have a solution to it, but I'll come up with it, make a new video on it very soon, so you all won't have to always scan the QR code whenever you all are running the program. So once again, thank you all for watching, and once again, please do not forget to like, share and subscribe, and send it to all your friends who are doing the engineering or coding. You can use this as a project as well. It's very fun. Thank you so much.